Whilst we're on the subject of iconic characters, Liz Truss was gallivanting around the Republican National Convention because unfortunately she's not a member of Parliament anymore. Oh dear. But that, to be fair, has freed up her schedule to be able to go and try and market herself to the American think tank grift sphere and all of the kind of Trump heads over there. To be fair, Nigel Farage is doing that too, but whilst actually sitting as an MP, so he's actually got a duty to be able to derelict, unlike Liz Truss, who's got plenty of time for that shit. Now, she was interviewed by Newsmax, which should be very funny to watch. I wonder what she has to say about the state of politics here and overseas. I can only imagine it's going to be incredibly funny, just as she usually is. The icon that she is. Let's go.
New book, 10 Years to Save the West, that you should check out. And she's got her finger on the pulse of what's happening across the pond. Nice to see you.
Well, Britain has been taken over by the socialists.
What
I'm
happened?
Afraid.
Because the rest of Europe seems to be waking up.
Well, the problem was that we've had a Conservative government for 14 years,
Yep.
but we weren't Conservative enough. We didn't do enough on immigration. It was too high. We didn't do enough to cut taxes, and we didn't do enough to take on the left. You know,
The problem, of course, is when she says they didn't cut taxes enough. They did cut taxes like multiple times in those 14 years, but they realised that they weren't going to be able to win future elections if they stripped away the public sector so much that people therefore noticed, which then happened because they stripped away the public sector too much. And when she said they didn't fight back the left enough, they spent years gutting every single social programme that existed, to the point at which that there was a UN special rapporteur claiming we'd violated the human rights of the disabled. Very weird analysis she has of 14 years of Tory rule.
The climate extremists, the woke ideologues, they were still able to influence through Britain's institutions, through our universities. And I think that Labour will be a disaster for Britain. We're going to...
Yeah, truly. The 80-seat majority you got in 2019 could only be stopped by the woke universities. How? How are they stopping you from putting through legislation? I don't know. Please elaborate, Liz. Yeah, it was the blob, the anti-growth coalition, the woke mob, the secret fifth column of people who for some reason control everything because they went to university.
To see Bidenomics on steroids in Britain. We're going to see the economy decline. We're going to see the country in serious trouble.
So that will lead to a Conservative comeback.
It will, because people want that change. I know they want the change. But the problem was, at this election, that change wasn't on the table. So what we need is more of what's happening here in the United States, a very strong Conservative movement, which is actually going to deliver real Conservative policies for people.
She says that they're going to be delivering Bidenomics on steroids. Well, they're not going to be doing that because Joe Biden's been running like a 7% deficit, which Rachel Reeves isn't going to do. So they're actually going to do Bidenomics massively scaled down in every possible fashion. And when they say it's going to lead to more decline, America is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Bidenomics has been a complete success in terms of economic growth. So I don't see where the decline is coming from, Liz.
And the leader of that movement is Donald Trump, who we expect to come back to the arena again tonight, like last night. It was pretty dramatic. He came out that tunnel
just behind it. It was very exciting,
him.
but I thought he was going to come and speak on stage.
No,
so
he's got to wait till the American tradition is wait till Thursday.
He was teasing us, wasn't he?
He's a reality show star. He's got your interest. I can tell you're hooked.
I was hooked. I was hoping that he was going to come on. Then I was hoping that J.D. Vance would come on stage.
He's
but they
Wednesday.
Kept us,
yeah.
They kept us
waiting.
waiting.
It's a tease. It's like a television tease. But think of that. When he's walking out like that with a bandage on his ear, you saw the emotion in Donald Trump Jr.'s face, in former President Trump's face. What's the view when you see Biden's weakness around the world and you see strength like that?
I mean, the photos of the assassination attempt were just incredible. I mean, to be hit like that, and I know how frightening it is to fear for your life as a politician, and to feel that.
Do you, Liz? Do people often wave firearms in your face in the UK? I don't think that's true. Do you really understand that? I'm not sure.
But then to show such strength, I think it really shows the nature of the man, and it shows why he is so popular in America and why we need him. My book, 10 Years to Save the West, says the West is under serious threat. It has been undermined by leftists. We're seeing our societies crumble, and we need that kind of strength and that leadership, and that's what Trump...
True, it's been undermined by the zero leftists that have been in power in any Western country. Where are these supposed leftists in charge? To quote Slavoj Žižek, but where are the Marxists? You've had a Conservative government for 14 years in the UK, which was preceded by 13 years of neoliberal New Labour governance, which was then preceded by Thatcherism until back to 1979. Where's this infiltration of leftists that have been in control? The leftist candidate lost in America. Bernie Sanders was beaten by Joe Biden, the centrist. You had 8 years of Trump. No, Obama was like a failure in terms of even a liberal presidency. And before then, you had 8 years of Bush. Where are these mythical leftists that are in charge, Liz?
Trump, I think, really showed just that instinct. And the fact that he came here yesterday, his ear bandaged up, it was incredible.
Pretty awesome. In the last minute we have tonight, the theme here is Make America Safe Again. It's about crime in America, but it's about something you mentioned, illegal immigration, which is gripping Europe. Donald Trump was ahead of the curve here in America and saying enough is enough.
Absolutely. And people are so frustrated in Britain that we cannot deport illegal immigrants because of our human rights laws. It seems
God damn those human rights laws. God damn human rights. I can't believe all of the human rights that we have in this country. It's so terrible. And again, of course, illegal immigration is a framing they're using for irregular migration. It's perfectly legal to arrive here and to claim asylum. They're not illegal if they're coming here to claim asylum. That's just completely untrue. Again, it's our obligations under the Refugee Convention, which she wants to leave, right, to make them illegal. But at current time, they aren't illegal, and it's a framing device to say that they are. And even then, we can send people back to their countries of origin if they fail their asylum claims, or if they're a genuinely illegal immigrant, i.e. someone who's outstayed their visa. That's how you become an illegal immigrant in UK. You outstay your visa, and in fact, mostly in the United States as well. It's mostly people who've outstayed their visas.
That the illegal immigrants have more human rights than people actually living in Britain, and that is why the public are so frustrated. And I know
what more rights do they have?
The same is true here in the United States. We see appalling crimes being committed by people who shouldn't even be in our countries, and people aren't prepared to put up with that. And that is why they will support Donald Trump, and that's why they do want real conservatism in Britain.
I mean, it just shows you just how kind of artless she is and how unlikable she is. I mentioned this on Novara the other day, and I'll post the clip on TikTok, which was if she wants to be this kind of figurehead for the new kind of right-wing movement, the new conservative movement, which clearly people support her, from what we heard at the Popular Conservatism Conference, from all those kind of little tiny children who supported her. Like, go ahead, mate. You're the most discredited political leader in British history, ever. The shortest serving prime minister, ever. Interestingly, they'd ever mentioned that when they introduced her for the interview. If you want to be this figurehead for conservatism, you go ahead, mate. All it's doing is completely discrediting everything that you believe in. By all means, become the new face of conservatism, both here and across the pond.
There we go. Well said. Liz
Great
Truss,
to see you.
good luck with
Great
the book.
to be
We
on the
appreciate
show.
you being
Thank
here.
you.
Thanks for that briefing on what's happening on the other side of the pond.
It's interesting as well, they talk about like crime rates, especially they say, oh, well, in the United States, got this crime problem, all of the crime that's happening when like crime is literally going down. There was like a height during the pandemic when it was easier to do so, and then it's continued to drop throughout the Biden presidency to the point at which it's at its lowest that it was back when Obama was president. Like, this is the lowest record crime in terms of, for example, murder rate. So that's just not even true in terms of Trump stopping the crime rate increasing. This isn't the only thing as well. This isn't the only thing that Liz Truss was getting up to while she was at the RNC. This has to be seen to be believed, really does.
I have to confess, I've never been to Pennsylvania, but I do have in my possession a Liberty Bell showerhead, which is an exact replica of the showerhead that President Reagan has in his ranch in California, which I recently visited. And I will be proudly installing this showerhead as a symbol of liberty and democracy and, of course, Pennsylvania. Yes. Because you all know why you're so important.
Yeah, she can really carry a room, can't she, chat? Going on about her little Liberty Bell showerhead anecdote. It's so strange. It's so strange. But I guess these people will kind of lap up anything that kind of appeals to their kind of conservative leanings or whatever it might be. But there's a reason that Liz Truss and Nigel Farage are over at the RNC right now. It's because they truly actually know that the market for their kind of brand of bonkers right-wing conservatism isn't in the UK. It's not here in the UK. Liz Truss was so hated in the public that her approval rating was lower than Vladimir Putin. And Nigel Farage, after having this kind of ascendant iconoclastic election campaign, came in with 5 seats. Like neither of these people really tap into kind of a broad popular strain of belief in the UK. But they definitely can see a willing voter base to appeal to, a market to appeal to. But they have US people being the British archetypes of this. Amongst Trump supporters who also believe in their kind of think tank, devised conspiracy stuff about the deep state and the woke blob, about DEI and the woke universities taking over. Like they are definitely one and the same in terms of the kind of people they appeal to. Talking about gender ideologues. Because even at this point, really and truly, I think Conservatives in the UK, the actual Conservative Party, has to realise that this is a hiding nothing when the economy is what's important. And these people are the harbingers of terrible economic policy. And so, of course, they can only market themselves overseas, where there is actually a market for all of this stuff that they've got that's essentially all dictated to them by Heritage Foundation. It's as simple as that. So they have no market for stuff in the UK, so they have to go overseas for it. Just quite funny. Hey there, if you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like and leave a comment. That helps the video out in the algorithm. If you subscribe and ring the bell, it'll let you know when I go live. I stream every day on YouTube and Twitch. You can also follow all of my socials down in the description. And if you want to support me in a more financial manner, there's a join button for membership to just 99p to be a member on YouTube, as well as a Patreon, and there's some merch there as well. And hopefully I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.